All right. So here against Kavalek.
Kavalek. This is also very funny because Kavalek in that time was a top player, very strong grandmaster from Czech Republic and I mean Czechoslovakia in that time, and he was playing later on for the United States in the Olympic team. He was second or third board, and he had a very good results all over the world. I mean, he was a leading grandmaster in that period. And okay, I knew that he plays this line of Sicilian, and I tried once like this, to give a check in b5. Well, bishop b5 check is not a bad move, but it's more quiet compared with some other lines from the Sicilian, of course. I mean, the open line with d4 and so on. But it's not as quiet as it seems, You have to be very careful with black. We'll see what happens in our game. And the normal move instead of knight c6, which is a little bit provocative, is bishop d7. Bishop d7 is the normal move, and if nothing happens, especially black has more or less an even game. But you have
So usually you exchange the bishops
you
here.
have the yeah. If you change the bishop, white has maybe a very slight advantage, but very little. I played a lot of games with black, and I had usually some good results with black. It's not so dangerous. But knight c6 or knight d7 are the two alternatives where black plays for some advantage right from the opening. I mean, he wants to provoke a little bit and give you the chance to go wrong with white. Okay, so after castle bishop d7, I play rook e1. This is the main line. And after now after a6, if you take in c6 is nothing special. Black is all right, more or less. He takes back with the bishop, of course. Yeah? So now you have the alternative, very quiet. If you look at the position, bishop f4, and now you have again a new position and a new game after bishop f1. Okay, black has now bishop g4, which is a good move. After d3, if he plays in this moment knight d4 after knight bd2, very small edge for white. So he plays normal. Instead, uh, what did he play? He
He
took in
took.
f3, I took with the queen, and g6. Until now, everything is all right. He played well. And c3, and now bishop g7, knight bd2. Okay, knight bd2, e6, yeah, knight c4. And now we have this very important moment. As I told you in many other occasions, black in Sicilian has to be very careful, because the first 15 moves like this, 15, 20 moves, give you always the possibility to go wrong with black. I mean, to overstep a little bit the limit, to think that your position is, in any case, is very good, and you forget a little and you want too much. And it happened this even here from such a top grandmasters like Kavalek. It was surprising. Now, if black plays normal knight g7, the game is more or less okay. I mean, instead of b5, white has to play probably bishop f4, knight g7, yeah, knight g7, bishop f4, e5, of course. You don't give the pawn, and after bishop g5 and castle, bishop f6, white is a little bit better, but nothing special. Bishop f6, very little, some small advantage for white, but nothing special. Okay, now he wants too much and he forgot the danger and he played b5. Well, b5 is already a very big mistake. We'll see, but very quickly, like this. That's therefore very big surprise. So now black is lost already. After e5, black is lost in all variation.
Oh,
Immediately
so you
after the
sacrifice
opening.
you sacrifice a pawn and
Well, you have now to decide what to do. If you take in c4 immediately, again, after queen takes c6, you can resign in a few moves.
okay,
Yeah,
the
because you
the
don't
knight is
have time
staying.
to play queen d7, you lose the rook. And
Yes.
if you don't play queen d7, white has time to take in d6, pawn up, completely destroy the position. Now, good possibility to have some counterplay, and completely lost. Yeah.
Yep.
So, if you take in e5, you have our game. If you play here d5, after d5, knight d6, again, resign in a few moves.
So after
This is
d5.
knight d6 check, and you resign immediately. And you lose the pawn from f7. It's a catastrophe for black here.
Yes.
So he took in e5 with the knight. Knight d6 check. Now what to do? King e7 forced, because if you take in d6, you lose the rook with check. So. And now after king e7, the only move, rook takes c5. Now what to play? If you take with the bishop in e5, pardon, knight takes f7, again, terrible game for black. You lost the pawn without any counterplay. The king is very badly posted in e7. Very strong initiative for white. Bishop g5 check, rook e1, terrible position. So he has to take with the king in d6, but this is already very unusual from such a game.
Yeah.
So simply rook back, and you have again all the threats, and the very dangerous position for the black king in d6, and we have already again the threat to take the pawn from f7. The only move, knight f6. Now what to do? Finally, okay, he had the possibility to play the knight, but we tried to open again the game completely on the other side. So queen c8, again, the only move. And here d4, again, you have to close the game, because if you take in d4 is even worse, because you have also the c file for white later on. So he plays the only move, c4. And now decisive bishop g5. Now you lost in all positions. Now we want to take the knight. If you play knight d5, you lose the pawn in f7 and the attack continues. Not only that you lost the pawn, but the king is almost mated, and you have also the bishop attacked in g7. It's completely lost for black. So you can't move the knight, but the only hope is to play queen c6, his move. He played queen c6. And now after bishop takes f6, he loses a piece by force. Bishop takes f6. Now he realized that when he takes in f3, bishop e5 check. You have to take in e5. We play d takes
He resigned
check.
here.
Yeah, he resigned. He loses at least one piece. And the attack continues also.
So he takes... check.
Takes, you have to move the king, and you take in f3, and you have bishop, up, and the attack is also for white. White continues the attack. So of course he resigned, but it is very unusual for this top grandmaster.
To lose
Very
so
big
quick.
surprise, and very quick. It was like a complete knockout in chess. This is less than 20 moves. But as I told you before, it happened because black overstepped a little bit the limit. He had the impression that everything is okay, my position is very good, I can play for initiative. And he played this move, which was very big mistake, b5, much too quick.
Yeah.
He had to complete the normal moves, to play knight g7, castle, and so on. And when the king is safe on the other side, you can try to play b5. Of course, white doesn't give you the chance. He can play a5, and so on. But the game is more or less even.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly better for white, but very slight. But like this was a catastrophe, very unusual. But it happens, what can I say? Even at the highest level, everything is possible. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Gheorghiu.
Yeah.